and marital rape. These are two words or phrases that you've heard often, but used together sometimes brings some questions. We want to answer those because we've heard women in marriages say marital rape exists. Then again, there's the issue of conjugal rights. So how do these two work together? How do these balance out? Be part of our show by going to our Facebook page, Woman 360. Give us your thoughts on this. We've got guests in studio who are going to help us answer this. We've got the Human Rights Commission who are going to talk about the right side of this, the rights, the policies, and how this can actually be balancing off. Our personality for today is Viola. She is an actress as well as a musician. She's going to give us how on this as well. How can we just live a life of a Christian when it comes to issues of conjugal rights and bringing the issues of marital rape? So these are my guests for today. Be part of our show, as I've told you. Facebook page, Woman 360. Like it and give us your thoughts. This is Woman 360. Conjugal rights, issues of marital rape. Are there in our society? Do they exist? What do you think? Women on social media are saying it does exist. But what do you say? Be part of our show. I'm going to be talking to my very first guest. He is coming from the Human Rights Commission. Mr. Mwelwa Muleya will give us his take. How are you, and thank you so much.
Countries is still excluded from the definition. Therefore, it becomes very difficult, for instance, for convicting someone on account of committing marital rape. What they are resorting to, the victims, is when maybe there is an element of physical abuse, maybe they ended up assaulting each other, fighting through that process. But rape, as it is defined in its ordinary meaning of having unconsented sexual intercourse with someone, or a marital rape in this case with a spouse, does not fall under that definition in the Zambian context. But from the human rights point of view, there are various conventions, privileges that may accrue to spouses by virtue of the marriage bond, because they are married. They have these rights, and it's not only exclusive to sexual intercourse. It relates to support, companionship, but the major part in itself constitutes marriage. Has
the Commission dealt with something close to this, or even a case that is dealing with marital rape?
No, we have never had such a report received by the Commission, not to my knowledge that we have received such a case, but we do know that those are crimes that are committed behind the walls. You know, they are committed behind the walls, and it's not only unique to Zambia, it's actually unique to various parts of the country. It's only in the 1960s where other countries started enacting laws criminalizing marital rape. Ordinarily, marital rape was tolerated, and it is still tolerated in most countries. It amounts to abuse.
I know you've touched a bit on this, Mr. Muleya, but when exactly do these conjugal rights become marital rape? Someone watching out there might be thinking,
where there is no consent. Where there is no consent, it becomes so very important at all levels of marriage that effective communication is very important, that the partner should understand why that conjugal right is denied. By the way, because failure to provide conjugal right because they believe you've married. And sometimes there's mistaken belief, thinking that because you have paid a dowry, you have owned somebody. That's not the case. So similarly, because of that culture, it's just man making decisions, and even making decisions as when they must have sex. It's a man as when he himself feels is in a mood, he thinks everyone is in a mood. That is wrong. It's abuse of the partner. So we need to build a culture that respects women.
coming from the side of rights in terms of this very thin line between conjugal rights and marital rape. Effective communication is what is coming through as one of the resolutions when it comes to this line between conjugal rights and marital rape. You're watching Woman 360. The thin line between conjugal rights and marital rape is what we are talking about today. This is Woman 360. Thank you so much for having stayed with us. Be part of the conversation by going to our Facebook page, Woman 360. Give us your thoughts, give us your comments as well as questions if you have time. We've just spoken to the Human Rights Commission, who've given us the side of rights and in terms of how you can abrogate some of these rights and get into legal issues just when it comes to conjugal rights, as well as just that very thin line between marital rape. Issues of communication coming through. Let's now go to our personality for today. We are going to be talking to an actress marital rape on Woman 360 today. So firstly, do you think marital rape does exist?
Oh yes, definitely does exist. There's some women out there that just don't have a say when it comes to when it comes to intercourse with their husbands. That there are men out there who just are animals, and they'll just come, and then if they want it then and there they will have it, whether the woman doesn't want or not. It definitely exists. I know that.
Okay. So why do you think this is happening? Because social media, and I know some marital rape is going on.
I think it's just selfish men, I would tell you, because first of all, if you marry this woman, she should obviously be your friend, and I think it's okay to sit down and talk about you guys wanting to do how you want it. You just tell her, and she has to give it to you. Doesn't work.
Okay, for a second, put you in a man's shoes, typical African man, and you're looking at this topic, conjugal rights, marital rape, the thin line. What would your view be? I'm sure there's a man out there thinking, hey, come, Bamanja, let's hear you.
If it was me and I am this traditional man, Judy, I would go to my wife and just tell her, honey, I want us to.
So if you speak for both women who are in such a situation, what would you say?
If you're a woman and your husband is doing that to you, I think first of all, I think it's because it is rape at the end of the day, whether you're married or not. It is rape. So I think first of all, rather you sit down and talk about it and tell your husband that it is a bother to you that he does it against your will. Because there are days that you just don't want to do it, Judy. You know, we are women, we are mothers, we work, and sometimes you just come home after a long day and you're just tired, you know. But I mean, even the Bible says you both should be in agreement to do this. So I think it's better to talk to each other, and hey, if he doesn't listen, report him, because it is rape at the end of the day.
Yeah, very true. And that reminds me, because just before you, I was talking to the Human Rights Commission, and they brought out the facts that you are talking about, actually. So being a person who is influenced by the arts, music as well as acting, if you had to carry out a project, Viola, that includes this, what message would you carry out? Be it via music, be it via your acting, because you're communicating through those means.
My message would be, one thing, Judy, some women do not.
Thank you so much for still watching Woman 360. Be part of the conversation by going to our Facebook page, Woman 360, and give us your thoughts. Like it, give us your comments as well as questions if you have any.
Fine, thank you.
Okay.
How are you, Mom?
Fine, thank you. When we get the Christian's perspective on husband and wife in relation to conjugal rights, what first comes to your mind? Ladies first, Limbe?
I think ladies first.
What first comes to your mind when you just think of that?
Efa ningalanda kulafai kwa communication.
Chafine
bachitwe babachifuma hapa kulafai kwa communication. There is no communication, fintu fyonse kuba sawa.
Kutipa yule tambalela that manje ba evangelist katongo balenda bathi communication, but sometimes ninga naye babalume banja tawo mu bantu nina kana fuma kunjitoro ninji pikairo monina kamwana kakaledila shani, not to mention abanensu ababa kumishi inchito shabo shamba uluchelo mpaka kawa songa mwana that communication nishu mkashana uleta mbanga nango abana kashaba leta balanda communication yashani
chachine efo ningalanda kulafai kwa ichitemwiko nga pabe ichitemwiko ninshipala abano kumfwana nga tapali ichitemwiko tapabyo kumfobe wamusanga fino kumwe bati mami sakuno pafire pabo kumfwana pafire pabo mchinshi ngefo bachitwe baba nenso bachifumapo nga pali kumfwana pali ichitemwiko then pali nokutemwana ifini fiance tete fibe sawa.
Okay. Your end, Reverend Wale. What's your take on this one?
I think the major important thing is love. Love is cardinal in every. The time, maybe she can be working, you can also be working, but because she has got an appointment, she knows that I think 21 hours in Chicago we are going to enjoy ourselves. Automatically, do not be a challenge, because the mind is ready. So we have to the human life says they have to communicate. If I love my partner, I have to communicate. Yeah.
Then there are issues of repercussions, because in the woman's world, before you get into marriage, your aunties and all those who are helping you prepare for this marriage are telling you, if you do not accept some of these things, if you do not have sex with your husband every time he wants to have sex, there are repercussions. He will leave you, he will go to another person. How can you comfort such a woman?
Muchupo Kwaliba Foundation. So, balaba fyash filabale lando kwebati nangu wakuma takuli ukulanda. Efile leta problem. Ufire wabwekera ko walanda ta ine umfwe ni file chitika munganda. Nombanga waikala fyole filo nokubwekera kuli balaba kufundire. Nankuli bambia bobe ngata kuli baba kufundire. Ulesa ngati ifintu fyaonaika. Tetu urebo mfyo munobe every day awe apa buloku mfwana iyo tefunde pafire paba agreement.
You know, Sister Judy, the thing is the woman and the man, they come together because of one thing, that's love. And you know, what brought them wasn't sex. Sex was just a complement, or is one of the things that the benefit of marriage. So the women who think they are 6'2", I think high time I think they have to ask the man.
Kind of a partner have anything to do with this, or everyone is just the same? People all know that, oh yes, if you are married you're supposed to have sex, and it goes like that. Is it universal, or maybe steps towards ukusala uliomo amofulo kuba now has got something to do with it? Does it? Evangelist.
Ufire okusala omwaume or ufire okuba nankwe. But nowadays, as Christians, echo turerufyanya. We are not tatweba spiritual. Like muma churches, you find that wasala omwaume ewo lefaya mukabe nankwe lesa nakusalira. But ewo bala kupela kukufunda, you know? Babikamo baba fe kumubiri, you know? Instead yakwa ati bakwebe efu enganda ifiri okuba limbe bakwa fe Bible munganda. It's not all about Bible.
Okay. Reverend Wale, we'll come to you in issues of there are men who are willing to advise men in such a situation.
The Bible says in 1 Corinthians chapter 7 verse 3 says husband should fulfill his marital duty to his wife, and likewise to the wife. You know, what will keep my marriage is it's not the group or it's not the people that I mingle with. What will keep my marriage is the love I have for my friend. If my friend said, I've married my friend, then we just, there was just a graduation to husband and wife. That person became my friend, and that person now is my wife. Now, if you're going to learn the marriage because of what you are taught or what you heard from somebody, there was this story, it is in Bema say, okuzamilicha kumo mwinko pamala. There were these women were seated, and they say, if my husband comes, I have to beat him the mwinko pamala. And when the husband came, what she did was to clear the actual cooking stick. But what was meant was, whenever the husband comes, he's supposed to prepare food. Yeah. So now, we have to, if you find that the group that you have is not helping your marriage, it's better you leave that group. The Bible says at the same time, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speak. So what you have conceived inside, because the more you hear the word, the more you find that, and if your friend finds you like that, they say, banamodies. The major thing is the person you have married is not a slave. The person you have married is a friend. At the same time, that person is the life partner, and that person will be there, in hard times and good times. So, women are good friends.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you coming through and sharing the word with us, as well as just adding the point of view of the clergy. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right.